Tonight we are talking about what you will think is an incredibly boring subject, and you might even agree with that when you've finished the video, but hopefully not. Welcome back to the channel. This is a SafeNests Eco channel where we make homes warmer, safer, and cheaper to run without the jargon, the nonsense, or the sales pressure. So tonight we're talking about something that sounds boring but saves you more money than almost anything else that you can do in your home, and that's the insulation. And I promise you, by the end of this video, you'll know more about insulation than most of the installers. So why does insulation matter? Well, simple facts. Around 25% of your home's heat disappears through the roof, another 35% through the walls, and about 10% through the floor. That means over half of the heat that you're paying for is literally floating off into the sky or leaking out through the brickwork. And here's the kicker, that most UK homes are still under insulated, even the ones people think are totally sorted. So if your loft insulation is older than 10 years or has been squashed, walked on, used as storage, it's probably only doing half the job that it should. Let's talk about the big wins. The recommended depth of the loft insulation in the UK is 270 millimetres, but the average home I visit, it's sitting around 100 to 150. That's like wearing a winter coat but leaving it unzipped. A properly insulated loft can save the average household £300 to £500 a year, depending on the property, the size and the heating system, obviously. And here's something most people don't know. So insulation doesn't go off, but it does settle. It compresses, it gets damp, and it gets moved around. And every time that happens, it loses a little bit of performance. If your insulation looks flat, patchy, or thin, it's really not doing its job. Now, a lot of people want storage in the lofts. Totally understandable, but here's the mistake that's often made. They put boards straight on top of the joists and crush the insulation underneath. When insulation is compressed, you lose up to 50% of its thermal performance. That's why we use raised loft boarding systems. It keeps the insulation fluffy, breathable, and effective, while giving you a safe, solid storage platform. It's the difference between doing it right and doing it on the cheap. So the hidden heat loss, the walls. If your home was built before the 1990s, there's a good chance your cavity walls will either have no insulation, have old insulation that's slumped, or have damp issues caused by failed material. Cavity wall insulation, when done properly, can save between £200 and £400 a year. But, and this is important, it has to be assessed by someone who knows what they're talking about. Not every home is suitable, not every material is appropriate, and not every installer takes the time to check. So what we do is we always start with the basics: moisture, ventilation, suitability, because insulation should make your home warmer, not wetter. And the forgotten one, so if you've ever walked across your living room and felt a cold breeze coming up through the floorboards, then you're not imagining it. Old suspended floors leak heat like crazy. Insulation though can save another £100 to £200 a year, and it makes the house feel instantly more comfortable. It's one of the most underrated upgrades that you can actually do. So, what are the big myths? So let's clear up a few myths that I hear all the time. So one, my house is warm enough already. So if your heating bills are high, your house isn't warm. Your boiler is just working overtime. Myth two, insulation causes damp. Bad insulation causes damp. Good insulation actually prevents it. And myth three, I'll do it myself. So absolutely you can. And most DIY insulation ends up patchy, uneven or compressed. And that just means wasted money. So what is our approach at SafeNests Eco? So here's how we do different things differently. So we assess every property, we explain everything in plain English, and we only recommend what you actually need. We use raised boarding system to protect the insulation where necessary, and we treat your home like it's our own. No pressure, no upselling, no nonsense, just honest advice and quality work. So if you're thinking about improving your insulation and you're not sure what your home actually needs, get in touch with SafeNests Eco. A warmer home, lower bills, less waste, and a setup that's done properly once and once only. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.